to skip houses that had certain campaign signs, ones that had President Trump's name on them. And the workers responsible for that horrific act of discrimination have been fired. Politics has no place in disaster relief, and it won't in the future under our watch and under President Trump's watch. The American people deserve better, and they deserve better especially in times of disaster. The answer is going to be putting the federal government in its proper place, getting this bloated bureaucracy out of the way. And so that is why President Trump created this FEMA Review Council. The responsibility that you have is incredibly important. The future of disaster management has to be led by local communities and by states, with the federal government coming in a supporting role, empowering them, not hindering them and slowing them down with paperwork, bureaucracy, and lack of resources. State and local leaders know that their communities, they know what they need better than the government ever could. They know their exact needs and they know how best to prepare. People forget that the states are older than the Constitution and that they created the Constitution, that federalism matters and states' rights need to be respected. We need to focus more on helping, not hindering, and state and local authorities need to be empowered. We don't take charge of them. We give them the opportunity to lead the way. Now, a leader is someone who empowers others to do their job well and to be the best that they can be. The job of government is not to do everything for the people. It's to let people do things for themselves and empower them to make decisions and take personal responsibility for their lives, but to help them when a crisis happens. When I was a child, my dad always said to me, Christy, we don't complain about things, we fix them. And I want all of you to have that attitude. We could sit here and complain about FEMA and the failures of the past, but we are charged with fixing it. For far too long, people complained about the incompetence of FEMA. President Trump is wanting all of us to sit down with clear heads, clear minds, and a good heart and be willing to fix this agency. Together, we're going to revolutionize disaster response for the 21st century by going back to our founders' first principles and why that works. When American lives are at stake, failure is not an option. So I want to thank you all for what you're doing here. I ask that
took office for a second term as US President, he made a lot of promises. He wanted to end the Russia-Ukraine war on day one. He wanted to, quote unquote, tariff the hell out of countries. That's what he said. And he wanted to release the Epstein files. But now, like most of his other promises, the last one has also fallen flat. Jeffrey Epstein was a sex offender. He died in a prison cell awaiting trial in 2019. It has been 6 years since, but public obsession has refused to die down, and now the Trump administration has given it some cold water treatment. They say no more files related to Epstein's sex trafficking probe will be released. And they affirm previous conclusions. They say that Epstein did take his own life and that he did not have a so-called client list, a list that could implicate his high-profile associates. No such list. That's what the government is saying. Unsurprisingly, Trump supporters are not taking this well. Here's a report.
In 2019, sex offender Jeffrey Epstein died in a New York prison cell, awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. In the 6 years since his death, the Epstein case has become a public obsession, especially among Donald Trump supporters in the U.S. Conspiracy theories have been rife. People have suggested that Epstein was murdered to stop him from naming top government officials, celebrities, and business tycoons who may have been involved. People have grown frustrated, demanding a release of the so-called Epstein files that could implicate the high-profile associates